Hey, what gives? Would you mind explaining why you didn't do the dishes this morning? You've done nothing but slack off today. You didn't even clean the bathtub. Or the toilets. They're covered in dust and smell awful. Ugh, you are so useless. I don't even know why we keep you around here.
Oh, hello there, Emily. I wasn't expecting to get a message from you this time of day. I suppose this means you've already gotten home from work then?
Stop dodging the issue. Why haven't you done any of your chores? Don't even think about telling me you forgot about them.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
Do I really have to explain it to you again? I go to work. You do not. That means you need to be doing all the housework since you're not pulling any weight in the house. Now get off your lazy rear end and start scrubbing right now.
Emily, I just moved in with you two yesterday. Is this really anything to be getting so angry at me about?
Excuse me?
And besides, I am working. I may not be as busy as I used to be, but I am still working, so I'm out of the house for at least the morning most days.
Who do you think you are? Don't talk back to me like that.
Emily, we made the rules very clear before we built this duplex together, don't you remember? We agreed that each of us would do our own chores, me in my unit and you two in yours. And our finances are separate as well. When we built the house, we had separate meters for gas, water, and electricity installed, so we can each pay for just what we use on our own. Of course, we're family and will most assuredly be there for each other in difficult times, and anytime you need me to look after Roy for you, I'd be glad to babysit him. Those were the rules that we decided on after a long and open discussion between the three of us, right?
Whatever, I'm tired of this conversation.
Sure.
Hey Mom, sorry to bother you on your lunch break. Do you have a minute?
Sure, Isaac, what can I do for you?
Did you have anything on your schedule for next weekend?
Next weekend? Let me think. No, I don't believe I have anything going on then. Why's that?
Okay, then what would you say to all of us going on a short little vacation as a family?
A vacation sounds lovely. What's the occasion?
Actually, one of my coworkers won a vacation in some kind of drawing, and he was planning on taking his family on an overnight resort stay. But I guess one of his kids got sick and is going to be in the hospital for a few weeks now, so they can't go anymore.
Oh, that's terribly unfortunate. I hope the child is all right.
The trip voucher had to be used within a specific time period, and it's too late now to change the reservation date, so he offered to pass the tickets to me if I was interested. Since the tickets were for 4 people, it works out perfectly that you, me, Emily, and Roy can all go together. The one little snag is that I have work on Saturday morning that I can't get out of, so you guys will be going there with just the 3 of you, and I'll be meeting up with you later on that day.
So, me, Emily, and Roy will all go in the morning then?
Yeah, that's the way it will work out. What do you think? I thought it would be a great opportunity for you and Emily to improve your relationship. You said the 2 of you were having difficulties, right? Since Roy will be there, and you know how much he loves you, it could be a great bonding experience for you two.
You know, I think you may be right. Sure, Isaac, I'd love to go along. Thank you for the invitation.
Alright, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll let you know the specifics once everything is set in stone. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Isaac. I'll be waiting.
Hey, Mom, sorry for the late notice, but I have something important to tell you about the vacation tomorrow.
I see. What is it, Emily?
I forgot to tell you that our departure time got changed.
Ah, all right. Oh, thank you for letting me know.
We were planning to leave the house at 7 a.m. and drive to the airport in order to make the 8 a.m. flight. But the flight we were booked on got canceled, and they rescheduled us for a flight at 10:15 a.m. instead. So we're going to be leaving the house at around 9 a.m. that morning. One more thing, though. I need to stop by Roy's friend's house to pick up a toy he left behind the last time he had a play date there. So could you meet us at the airport at 9:30 a.m.?
All right, that sounds fine.
I'll give you your tickets to the airport tomorrow.
Thanks, Emily. See you in the morning. Hello? Emily, where are you? I just got to the airport and I'm waiting at the gate like you said. But I can't find you or Roy anywhere. Did something come up? Are you running late?
Well, good morning, Mother Dearest. Actually, Roy and I already left on the 8 a.m. flight. We just landed a few minutes ago.
What? What's going on? Last night you told me that the 8 a.m. flight was canceled and we were going to go on the 10:15 flight instead.
You really don't get it, do you? I told you the wrong time on purpose. Did you really think I was going to let you come with us on this vacation? Get real. This is a family vacation, and you're not my family. You're my mother-in-law, not my real mother. Now be a good old maid and give me some money to use on your grandson and crawl back home to your rocking chair.
I don't believe this. How could you do this to me?
It was easy. Anyway, I know you've got my bank account number, so just wire the money there. Got it? Don't worry, I'll spend most of it on Roy. He's got a birthday coming up, and it's not like you need the money for anything, so go ahead and wire me a couple $1,000s. That should be enough for now.
I was looking forward to this vacation. I wanted to spend time getting closer to you. I know we've had a difficult relationship up until now, but I thought this would be our chance to come to understand each other better. I thought we were all going to make some wonderful memories together as a family.
You must have missed it before, so I'll say it again. You're not my family. You're my mother-in-law, not my real mom. This is a family vacation, so only family can come. And I thought you were aware of this, but since you seem so oblivious, I might as well tell you that the only reason I agreed to the duplex was because you got that massive life insurance policy when your husband died. I figured you'd be tossing money at Roy left and right. So, to summarize, I see you as nothing but an ATM for your grandson. You're not invited to this trip. Go back home. The end.
So that's how you see me. At first I was going to move in with Isaac's younger brother and his wife, but they ended up having to move because he got transferred at work. I was so happy at first when Isaac offered to build a duplex together with me. I'd be able to live closer to my grandchild and I'd feel more secure than living by myself.
Okay, so how about you go live with Isaac's brother then? Actually, that would be perfect. Do you want me to call a mover for you? We can have all your stuff out of the house by the time we get back from our vacation.
In any case, I suppose I have no choice but to go back home now.
Just so you don't get any ideas, even if you book another flight and show up at our hotel room, I'm kicking you out on the curb. Got it?
Hey, Mom. I'm almost at the hotel. Sorry I'm coming so late. How are things with you, Emily and Roy?
Isaac.
Did you guys enjoy your afternoon at the amusement park?
Isaac, I'm not at the hotel. I'm at home.
Wait, what? Why? Didn't you get on the plane with Emily and Roy in the morning? Did something happen? Are you okay?
Emily told me that the flight was canceled and that we were getting on a flight at 10 instead. When I messaged her later, she told me that she had lied because she didn't want me to come.
She did what?
She also told me to wire her some money to use on Roy during the trip, but I'm sorry, I haven't been able to get around to it yet. I stopped at a convenience store on the way back to pick up some food for lunch, and, well, here I am.
I don't believe this. What on earth is she thinking?
From the way you're talking, it at least sounds like you weren't in on it, in any case.
Of course I wasn't. I'm gonna have a little talk with Emily about this. Give me some time and I'll take care of it.
All right, but whatever you do, be sure that you don't get in any sort of argument in front of Roy, okay?
I know. I'll wait until it's nap time. I'll message you later on tonight.
Hey, are you there? I can't find Isaac or Roy anywhere. Do you have any idea where they might be?
Emily? Oh, are you still at the hotel? Isaac just got back to the house with Roy about an hour ago.
They did? So, wait a minute. I'm all alone out here now? They abandoned me?
Well, like I said, they just got home, and I haven't heard any specific details, but yes, it does appear so.
Is this your doing? What did you say to Isaac?
Nothing, really. I just told him that you gave me the wrong time for the plane on purpose in order to keep me from coming with you on the trip is all.
That's not nothing. Why couldn't you have just told him that you got sick and couldn't go or something? You're making it sound like I'm the bad guy.
Emily, dear, I'd say an objective reading of the situation would lead to the conclusion that, yes, in fact, you are the bad guy.
What did you just say?
Did you think that Isaac would let you get away with a thing like this? That he would just take your side unquestioningly?
Well, duh, he's my husband. Plus, I didn't even do anything wrong. You're the one that's in the wrong. We were gonna have a fun, carefree vacation, just the three of us, but you butted in and invited yourself along. And now, thanks to you, I'm all alone in this hotel room.
Emily, you're under the completely wrong impression. Isaac is the one who invited me along on the vacation. I didn't invite myself.
Are you serious?
If you or Isaac had told me beforehand that you wanted to have a vacation with just the three of you, I would have understood. I'm not so presumptuous as to invite myself along to other people's vacations.
But Isaac never told me that.
Isaac thought, and I agreed, that this would be the perfect chance for us to get to know each other better, to finally have a positive relationship with each other. But now I've made my decision. I'm leaving my estate to Isaac's younger brother.
Wait a minute. Estate?
I do suppose it's a bit early to be talking about my estate, but you deserve to know my intentions. I'm actually the chairman of the board of 4 different companies.
4? I thought you were unemployed.
They were originally my father's companies, and when he passed away, he left his majority stake in each of them to me. It's been a while since I've seen the numbers, but I believe my stock holdings alone amount to around 5 million?
5 million? So that's going to get split up between the 2 brothers, right?
Isaac's younger brother and his wife are going through a training program designed by me in order to equip them to effectively run the companies in the future. Obviously, as the firstborn, I talked to Isaac about this first, but he said he had other interests, and I gave him my blessing to pursue them. His words were, "Don't worry, Mom. I'm going to forge my own path in life. You can leave everything to him."
He said that? Is he insane? What kind of psychopath would turn down a $5 million inheritance? What's wrong with him?
There is nothing wrong with him. He's a fine, upstanding man who takes good care of you, Roy, and me. Perhaps you might recognize that if you would think about someone other than yourself for a change.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
I wish things could have turned out differently than they did, Emily.
Mom, you have to do something. I don't want to get divorced.
What's that?
Do something about this. Talk to your son. He says that he's going to divorce me and then he's going to work with his lawyer to make sure that I lose custody of Roy. He's going to move into your side of the duplex. You have to talk him out of this.
Ah, so that's what was going on. I was curious why I came home from work today to find my guest room full of boxes of Isaac's things all around the bed.
Well, now you know why, so hurry up and do something about it.
From what Isaac has told me over the last several days, not only have you not shown any semblance of remorse for what you did, but you've been trying your hardest to encourage Isaac to quit his job and take back my inheritance from his brother, including a presentation on a house that you could buy with the $5 million?
What was I supposed to do? There was no way he could have been in his right mind turning down $5 million. I figured if I showed him the kind of lifestyle that much money could afford, he'd change his mind.
Emily, I have to say I'm disappointed, but painfully unsurprised. First of all, the decision of my estate is as of yet undecided. Nothing is set in stone yet.
Didn't you say you were going to give it to Isaac's brother, though?
I've consulted with various financial advisors over the past several years, and presently I'm intending to divide my estate evenly between my 2 sons. However, how that division ultimately pans out is something for them to discuss between themselves.
Oh, then why didn't you just say that in the first place? That would have saved me a ton of grief.
Oh, do you suddenly have a problem with critical information being kept from you? That's exactly what you did to me when you lied about the plane being canceled. I wanted to see how you'd respond if I only told you the size of my estate and Isaac's intentions.
So, this was all a test?
Yes, and you failed miserably.
Oh no.
You can ask Isaac for more details.
But that has nothing to do with our divorce. I don't want to get divorced. You need to do something. Talk to Isaac. Tell him that a divorce would be bad for Roy. Whatever you need to do.
After this past week's events, I'm not entirely sure having a mother like you in the picture would be a good thing for Roy at all, Emily.
Please.
I've said my piece, and I have nothing to say to you ever again. I hope you one day learn to care about someone other than yourself.
Mom, no!
Goodbye, Emily.
Hey, Isaac, I changed my mind. Sure, let's get divorced.
Wow. Okay, so that's that, I guess. Go ahead and sign the divorce papers I sent you and take them to the courthouse whenever you can.
Sure thing. I'll head over there right now. Okay, it's all done. I just got back from the courthouse, so we're officially divorced. Wire me my share of the assets as soon as you can. I'm pretty sure you still have my bank account information.
What are you talking about?
Don't pretend like you don't know. I can do math. Since your mom's estate is $5 million and you get half, that means you get $2.5 million. That means that since we're divorced, I get half of that. So you owe me $1.25 million. I'm planning on using that to pay the bills while I look for a new job, so send it to me as soon as possible. Got it?
Why did I have to marry someone as stupid as you? My mom's not dead yet, you moron.
So?
Do you even know how inheritance works, Emily? As long as she's alive, it's all still hers, and she's perfectly healthy. How do you not know this?
Wait, really?
And besides, assets gained through inheritance aren't subject to property division during a divorce. God, you're an idiot.
Oh no. Okay, then I changed my mind. We're not getting divorced after all.
Don't you think it's a little too late for that? You just said that you had already turned in the divorce papers at the courthouse.
Uh-oh. Man, this sucks. What am I gonna do now?
Emily and Isaac's divorce was finalized just a few days after our final conversation. After considering Emily's behavior and its potential impact on Roy, the family court sided with Isaac and granted him full custody. It went far more smoothly than I expected, for us at least. Isaac realized in that last message to Emily that she was under an enormous misconception about how the property division would work, which is too bad for her, but thanks to that misconception, she consented to the divorce far quicker than I thought she would. After the divorce, Emily tried to move back in with her parents, but they threw her out. She's now living in a tiny apartment and working the night shift at a local dive bar. Her parents came by our house a few days later to apologize for her behavior. According to them, Emily had worked up quite a bill at the local host club as she was planning on being able to use my estate to pay it off. So it seems like she's going to be working off that debt for some time. I do hope that she learns her lesson and turns her life around, though.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Congratulations on your graduation, Rachel. Huh? Oh, hi, Lisa. You knew it was graduation ceremony at my university today? Yep, looks like you're a full-grown adult now. I guess. That reminds me, where did you get a job at? What? Remember how I asked you about how your job hunting was going around a year ago? You told me it's a secret. I won't tell you until graduation, right? I thought you would tell me after you graduated. Oh, yeah, I remember. Do you want to know that much? You're my late father's second wife, and you're not even related to me by blood. Well, yes, but for the past 10 years, ever since you were 12, I treated you like my own daughter. At least I tried to. Well, I guess there's no denying that you supported me up until now. I'm a bit unhappy that we were slightly in poverty, though. That's because I was saving for the future, but it's also largely because I didn't use any of the money from the inheritance or the insurance he left you. What? Is that so? I was planning on giving you the necessary papers to sign once you became an adult. Then give it to me tomorrow. What? Tomorrow? I need to leave the apartment I rented when I entered university by the day after tomorrow. Oh, you're moving. Yep, I'll stop by your place while I'm at it. Do you have the necessary money to move? I'm fine. I'll tell you about my job when I go there tomorrow as well. Alright, got it. Rachel, who are these men? They're putting the stuff you had left in our house into a truck. Yep, I told them to do it. You told them? They didn't seem like the people that work for a moving company, though. They're Mom's colleagues from work? Huh? Mom? It's obvious, but I'm not talking about you, Lisa. Hold on, don't tell me that. Did you go and meet Renee? I did go and meet her. In fact, I'm with her right now. What's the meaning of this? Don't tell me that the whole time you were in university? Yep, thanks to Renee, life at university was so fun, and I forgot all about getting a job and you. Since when have you been meeting her? Ever since the coming-of-age ceremony, I hired a detective to find out where she lives, and I had him bring us together at the coming-of-age ceremony. A detective? We've been meeting regularly ever since. Why didn't you tell me anything? You know why your father and that woman got divorced, right? Didn't your dad tell you over and over to not go anywhere near her because she's dangerous? Lisa, I'm thankful, I guess, for you supporting me up until now, but that's just the obvious thing to do as my only guardian left after Dad died, right? But the only person I want to call mother is my actual mother, Renee. Rachel. I don't need you to provide me with any more money. I already got the papers I need to inherit Father's money. You're of no use to me anymore. Could you at least tell me where you're moving and where you're going to be working? Oh, that's right. I actually never got a job. What? So does that mean you're going to be graduating without a job? There's something I want to tell you. You see, it looks like my mother Renee is going to support me from now on, so I'm cutting ties with you. What? Renee is going to support you? I'm going to live with my real mother, who's now a celebrity. You're cutting ties? You see, my mom Renee married a really rich man and is now living a life as a celebrity. Apparently, his name is Jack Willis. Jack Willis? That's the name of the man that caused your parents' divorce. Apparently, but I'm not bothered by such things, so it's alright. I mean, he's rich after all. He's so rich that he told me I didn't need to get a job and that I could just relax all day. Isn't that great? What are you talking about? You're so nosy. He already bought me brand new bags and clothes and stuff. I saw with my own eyes that my mom was living a life of luxury. Renee doesn't have that much money, you know. Now you're just lying. Liar. Bye. Rachel! Hi, Lisa. It's been 2 months since we last talked. No, I thought you cut ties with me. You pay too much attention to details. You insulted my mom so much, so I thought I would get revenge by boasting about my new celebrity life. Revenge, huh? First off, to celebrate moving in with Mom, she bought me several pretty party dresses. She says we're going to go out next week in these dresses. Not only that, but tonight we're going to have a full-course dinner at a high-class restaurant with a view. Apparently, it costs $500 per person. To think that I would be eating a single meal that cost 2 months of my food expenses during university. I'm such a celebrity. Is that so? But you shouldn't let your guard down, all right? What do you mean? You see, there was something that I had needed to tell you, but now that you're with them, I decided there was no longer any need. You're not making any sense. Well, I'm not your actual mother, and our relationship is a bit dry, but I did raise you for 10 years. So here's my last piece of advice for you. No matter what you do, don't give your father's inheritance to them. Huh? There's no way the kind of celebrity mother that's going to support me from now on is after my money. Don't get mad at me for no reason just because you're jealous that I'm living the life of a celebrity while you're still poor. Goodbye. Lisa? I'm begging you, answer my calls. I seem to recall you telling me that you were cutting ties with me. We have bigger problems right now. The account with Dad's inheritance money is completely dry. What? But I never gave them the account details. Did Renee steal them or something? I told you to change the PIN and the sign when I gave you the account details, right? Oh yeah, I changed both of them the next day, but... Did you check the account balance after that? Yeah, I did. The money Renee said would be in the account was there. If that's the case, then there's no way I would have been able to withdraw the money. You understand that, right? Then why? Did you tell anyone the PIN? Mom told me that she wanted me to change it to her birthday to celebrate me moving in with her. That's it then, I guess. But Mom would never do such a thing. Lisa, what should I do? Apparently Mom used the money to pay off her debt. So that's what happened. I knew it. Huh? You knew? No, but I had guessed that that's what she would do with the money. You remember why your parents divorced, right? Yeah. Mom cheated on Dad, and also Mom was loose with her money. Lose is putting it lightly. What? This is before me and your dad met, and I don't know what your parents told you when they were getting divorced while you were still in elementary school, but it seems that Renee was the type of person to take out loans without even hesitating. One day, she borrowed a loan from a group that was considered suspicious in society. Apparently, she met the man she would cheat on your dad with through them. Your dad knew that this was going to mean trouble, and so he rushed to hire a lawyer. He had already been gathering evidence of your mother's adultery, and used that to get divorced with her immediately. He didn't ask her to pay any alimony, and in return got custody of you. He changed jobs and moved far away, bringing you with him. Your grandparents, who passed away 8 years ago and 5 years ago respectively, were also forced to move. So that's why I suddenly changed schools and moved? Yep, he said he cut ties with everyone except his parents from his hometown, as if overnight. What? I was planning on telling you this when you graduated from university, but you know what happened next. To be honest, Renee reaching out to you before that was a miscalculation on my part. I understand painfully now that I underestimated her, even though I only heard about her from your dad. Lisa, help me. What? I think they're going to make me take on customers from tomorrow. Customers? I overheard Renee and Jack talking to each other at night. It seems the party dress she bought for me last week was a uniform for work. Apparently, it's a hostess bar on the outside, but... I understand. Help me. I'm sorry, but I won't be able to directly help you right now. Why not? But we've known each other for 10 years. I was suddenly told that I needed to go on a business trip abroad. I'm currently in the United States. The US? I'm probably going to live here permanently in the future. But you're the only person I can rely on, Lisa. Well, I'll give you one hint then. A hint? The fact that you can still text me means that you have a chance to escape, but I think it's going to be a race against time. What should I do? I'll tell Judith about the whole situation. Judith. Oh, your friend, right? The one who grew up on the island of Sakushima? Yep, that one. You know where she lives, right? Yep, the big house near the station, right? I always saw it on my way to high school, so I remember. Her husband is a lawyer, so ask him for advice. But I need money to get there. I'll tell Judith to pay for your taxi, so return it to her afterwards, all right? Got it. Lisa, thank you. I'm so glad you didn't get mad and cast me aside after what I said to you. But Rachel, I haven't forgotten what you said to me. I just know that this is my last act of kindness towards you. Lisa. I'm not going to help you anymore. Try and live on your own from now on. Okay, I'm sorry for what I said to you. Thank you for everything up until now. It seems that Rachel immediately hopped into a taxi after that and went to Judith's house. Her husband, the lawyer, was exceptionally skilled. Not only did he manage to get back all the money Renee stole from Rachel, but he also started an investigation of the illegal store Rachel was almost made to work at. Thanks to his efforts, Renee and her husband Jack are now behind bars. Apparently, they're guilty of countless other crimes as well, such as fraud and tax evasion, so they won't be able to get out of this for a while. Also, Judith occasionally tells me how Rachel's doing, but it seems that she found a job that came with housing all on her own and has moved there. My eyes teared up when she said that Rachel was doing her best and has become a humble person. It seems that Rachel is no longer the person who said all those heartless things to me and deeply regrets what she did. It seems that I can move on with my life, with no bitter feeling of contempt mixed with sadness, but with a feeling of joy and hope, knowing that Rachel went on the right path. Inspired by her change of character and her willingness to move on with life, I will also try to do my best in this newfound heaven of mine.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
You never wear red clothes, right, Alan? You don't even own a single red piece of clothing, right?
What, red? Yep, I don't have any red clothing, I guess.
Why?
Oh, I guess I never told you why. Apparently, I don't look good in red or other such warm colors. Everyone around me says I look better in cool colors like blue, so that's how I've been dressing ever since.
I see. But my ex-boyfriend Lewis looked so good in red.
Huh?
I unconsciously bought a red t-shirt that he would look good in. But I can't wear this, so why don't you try it on? If you don't want to wear it outdoors, then why not just wear it indoors?
I don't mind wearing it, but why do you have to bring up your ex-boyfriend?
Huh? There's no real reason. Why?
Even still, you talk about your ex-boyfriend with me and unconsciously buy something for him. It makes me a bit uncomfortable.
You're thinking too much into this.
Don't you realize that you talk about your ex-boyfriend every day?
I'm just talking about some memories that I have. No need to be so suspicious. Well then, I'll be at the shopping mall a bit longer.
Hey, Vicky.
What is it, Alan?
I'm currently on break at the office and...
What?
The lunch you gave me? Why did you use Kimetsu no Yaiba furikake?
What? You don't like it?
I mean, the furikake is just regular furikake, so I don't mind, but the things you put in my lunchbox, aren't these foods that one of the characters from the manga likes? The sweets as well?
Oh, well, you see, I remembered that my ex-boyfriend loved that manga. The character that loves those foods was my ex-boyfriend's favorite character from the manga. My lunchbox has the same stuff.
Your ex-boyfriend again.
Huh?
The reason you put so many sweets into my lunchbox, even though you know I don't like sweets, is because of your ex-boyfriend again, right?
Oh, but my ex-boyfriend would have loved it.
Yeah, but I don't love it. If the two of us ever have children,
Huh? Children?
there's a chance that you will continue unconsciously talking about your ex-boyfriend every day. And I'm not even exaggerating. That's why I always remind you about it, even though it may seem like I'm just being annoying.
I might be reunited with my ex-boyfriend, so it's fine if our children hear.
Huh?
What I'm trying to tell you is, I want to get back together with my ex-boyfriend, so I don't want to have children with you.
Hold on. Don't you realize that what you're saying is outrageous? Didn't your ex-boyfriend already get married? You said that yourself, right?
Yes, but according to information from a friend, it seems that he hasn't had children with his wife yet, which means that if the two of them get divorced, I would get a chance to get back together with him. But if the two of us had children, all the business about custody of the children and bringing a child to another marriage would be a hassle, right? Which is why I don't want children.
What? Then why didn't you marry him in the first place?
Huh?
You keep talking about your ex-boyfriend because you still have feelings for him, right?
Ew, are you getting upset?
Anyone would be in my situation. Day after day, you keep talking about your ex-boyfriend. Have you ever thought about how I feel?
You're such a pain in the ass. Don't be jealous of my ex-boyfriend. Always with your complaints. You're such a small person.
That's not the problem.
I can't help it. I only broke up with my ex-boyfriend because I found out right before we were about to graduate university that he hadn't found a job yet. It was about 2 years after that when I found out that he had started his own business while still a student, which means he never needed to find a job in the first place. If I had known that from the start, then I never would have broken up with him, and we might still be together to this day. Who knows? Maybe he still has feelings for me.
I'm impressed at how you can entertain such fantasies when he's already married and on a different path in life.
But there's still a possibility that he'll get divorced, right? Which is why I don't want you to talk about the two of us having children.
Then go to your ex-boyfriend then.
What?
I don't know how your ex-boyfriend sees you, but I for one have had enough. We're getting divorced. I'm thinking about getting the divorce papers from the city hall on my way home from work, but if you're ready to get divorced as well, then I don't mind if you begin the preparations. Well then, I'll get back to work.
Alan, I turned the divorce papers to City Hall.
I see. So you're okay with divorce?
Yep. Oh, I don't need any of your property. I'll pay for the alimony from my savings when I was single as well. I already sent you the money.
You seem quite enthusiastic.
You see, I had one of my friends who lives near my ex-boyfriend do some digging yesterday. She said Lewis was on his own the whole time and she couldn't see his wife. This must mean that marriage didn't go well and they got divorced, or that at least they're living separately. It seems that I'm fated to be with him. It's fine if I don't work anymore once I marry him, since he's the owner of a company.
Is that so?
Well, I'll pack my stuff and go where he is by today. Thanks for divorcing me at such a good time. Bye! Lewis, aren't you coming home yet?
Who is this?
It's me, Vicky.
Vicky?
Come on, don't pretend you don't remember me. We went out until we graduated university, right?
Oh, that Vicky?
I'm so glad you didn't change your phone number.
What do you want with someone you broke up with years ago?
I thought that we could get back together, so I came.
What? I'm already married, you know.
I know. And you recently got divorced, right?
No, we didn't.
Oh, so you're just living separately?
Well, yes, we are living separately, but we have no intention of getting divorced.
What?
It's been decided that we will move in with her parents. I haven't prepared to move yet because of work, so my pregnant wife moved there on her own first.
What? Pregnant? What are you doing? Don't you know that if you have children, you'll have to deal with stuff like who gets custody of the child and child support? It's going to be a real hassle. That's why I made sure not to have any children with my ex-husband, because we would eventually get back together. You just ruined all my efforts.
What are you talking about? To be honest, I have basically forgotten about you.
What?
Besides, I have no intention of getting back together with someone who didn't listen to a thing I said and just kept insulting me.
Huh? You're lying, right?
Don't you think it's only natural?
Come on, let's just talk for a bit, even once. You see, I got divorced just so we could get back together.
I don't understand in the first place how you ever thought that we would get back together.
I'll wait for you outside your room until you finish working.
Are you at a apartment right now?
Yep, I am. I'll be here until you come meet me.
I left that apartment 1 week ago.
Huh?
The contract renewal at the apartment was going to be at a bad time for me, so I'm temporarily living in a hotel.
No way! You're not here anymore?
I don't want you to come anywhere near me again, and I don't want you to contact me either. You're a nuisance to me.
You're joking, right?
I'm blocking you. Bye.
But this must be a joke, right? Louis? Alan, I realized since then that actually you're the one I love the most. I'll bring the marriage papers and come over, so let's be husband and wife again, shall we?
What? Jesus, you're back already?
Yep, I'll make all the foods that you like tonight.
I'm sorry, but that's going to be a problem for me.
What?
Wanting to get back together the day you got divorced is crazy no matter how you look at it. Besides, I have no intention of getting back together with you.
I promised to never talk about my ex-boyfriend again. That's what you're mad about, right? I talked to my ex-boyfriend just earlier, and he said that his wife is pregnant, which means that if they got divorced, having to deal with who gets custody of the child and who has to pay child support is going to be a hassle. He said we really couldn't come to an agreement, and in the end, he told me he didn't want to see me again.
Is that so? Even if that's the case, I'm 120% not getting back together with you.
Why? I said I wouldn't talk about my ex-boyfriend again.
But you're lying right now as to the reason he didn't want to get back together with you?
What?
Your ex-boyfriend Luis showed me the conversation you two had when you went to meet him.
Huh? You two knew each other?
What are you talking about? We all went to the same university, remember? I wasn't really close to Luis, but I had exchanged contact information with him since he was a friend of a friend. He just told me what had happened earlier. He even sent me screenshots of the conversation you two had, so I know everything.
Huh? No way.
Well, that's the situation. I have zero intention of starting things over with you.
Please, Alan, you're divorcing me over something as little as this?
The fact that you think this is just something little is proof that we can't make things work anymore.
Alan, please, I promise to change.
If you come, I'll call the police. I don't ever want to see you again.
What? No way. I have nowhere to go if you leave me like this.
I'm blocking you. Bye. It was about 3 months into our marriage when Vicky started to talk about her ex-boyfriend, Luis, every day. This is also about the time when Luis got married and a friend told her that he was actually the CEO of a company, according to Luis. Vicky has a habit of thinking that something that was once hers is hers forever, which is probably why she probably wanted to get back together with me, even though I was already married when she found out that I ran a business. Also, it seems she went to meet Luis one more time after that, and this time the police came for her. Her parents were furious, and without a word, they sent her to marry a distant relative of hers, a single man in his 50s. I have no idea why Vicky agreed to marrying him, but I guess I'll never be able to understand the way that woman thinks. Still though, I don't know what gave her parents the idea of making her marry this distant relative of theirs. Soon after, it was revealed that she was pregnant. Talking about this honestly makes me sick. But apparently this distant relative of hers, who is now her husband, plans on having 5 more children, which means that Vicky will be forced to spend the rest of her life raising children.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, dispatch worker. Why did you go home before me? You have no manners even though you're a dispatch worker? Just because it's your first day here doesn't mean you can be lax. Reply to my text, dispatch worker. Good evening, Mr. Cobb. My name isn't dispatch worker, it's Jack Morrow. Who cares about that? I'm asking why you went home earlier than me. Are you underestimating us or something? Do you even have a will to work? Listen up. If you're going to work under me, then I'm going to have to be strict on you. Even if you are just a lowly dispatch worker. I'm not going to let you not take your work seriously. If I may, I think it can't be helped if a dispatch worker goes home earlier than the full-time employees. What? Do you think this job is a game or something? I intend to do my work properly, and I think I worked hard enough today as well. Then why did you disobey me and go home early? I told you not to go home before your superiors, but you didn't follow my orders. Besides, who said a dispatch worker like you could even have an opinion? It's not my opinion. I'm just talking about my terms of employment. Huh? Your terms of employment? There needs to be a regular employee with me while I'm doing work. Making part-time workers or dispatch workers do stuff on their own is banned. The only people who can lock the doors of the factories and the offices in this branch office are the full-time employees who have keys. The only 3 people left were me, you, and the part-time worker Miss Knox, so if you were to go home, then me and Miss Knox would have to go home as well, right? But if you do that, then there's going to be unfinished work. But isn't it going to be a problem if you just leave me in the office? Not only that, I'd like to correct you on a fundamental error in your logic. What is it? In the first place, I wasn't assigned to work in the factory. I was assigned to work in the office. What? Really? Yes. I was temporarily dispatched since the office was suddenly extremely low on staff because of people suddenly going on parental leave or having to be hospitalized. It was decided from the start that I would only be working here for 3 months until the employees return. Seriously? By the way, the only reason I did a bit of work in the factory today was because our managers thought that it would help with my work if I got to know how things were in the factories. I'm going to be doing desk work at the office from tomorrow. So you're not the one who's going to give me orders. The supervisor in the office is. Oh, is that so? Are we all right now? Oh, yeah, you can go now. Well then, goodbye. Huh, so you weren't one of my subordinates. How misleading. Hey, dispatch worker. My name is Jack, Mr. Cobb. It seems your dispatch period ends today, huh? Yes, thank you for having me. I mean, I guess it's only obvious for an impolite person who doesn't listen to what others say like you to be fired. What is it? There's no use trying to flatter me now, it's too late. I told you on my first day of work, right? It was decided that my dispatch period would be for 3 months from the start. There was no plan of extending the period either, so it's not that I'm being fired. Oh, is that so? Again, thank you for having me. Goodbye. Wait, I thought that I had seen you somewhere before, but to think, you're Jack, right? The dispatch worker who was fired after 3 months 5 years ago? That reminds me, they were saying that several dispatch workers will be joining the factory workforce today. I see. This means that this time for sure you've been dispatched as one of my subordinates. Hold on, you're still living on that low salary of a dispatch worker after even 5 years? It seemed that you were quite the useless worker. It looks like it's almost time for the morning assembly. I heard that some high-ranking person from a new department at the company headquarters is going to be visiting today. I'm going to show the people in the main company how competent I am At the same time, show you how things are going to be around here as your boss. Why did you punch me as soon as the morning assembly started? It's only natural that useless low-ranking employees like you get punched. Work your ass off today as well. It seems you still don't understand the position you're in. Huh? Why don't you think about this carefully? No matter what the reason is, punching someone will cause a huge commotion. Don't you think that under regular circumstances, you would have been subdued on the spot? No one stopped me because everyone knows that my style of education is flawless and correct. No, the reason no one stopped you even though you punched me is because I had told everyone prior not to lay their hands on you until I say so. What? Now, I saw the text you sent me before this morning assembly. That's when I remembered that there were rumors about you going about in the company headquarters, but how you weren't doing well with your employees' relationships. And so I decided to not say anything and see how you would behave. I'm going to send this conversation to HQ. I kindly ask for your cooperation. Huh? Why are you talking as if you're the one heading the morning assembly? You're just a dispatch worker. I see. So you really haven't noticed yet. What is it? I came from the company headquarters. You came from HQ? Yes, I am now a full-time employee who works at HQ. By the way, I'm also the head of compliance starting from this year. What? I'll answer your questions in detail later. It looks like the swelling on my cheek is quite serious, so I'm going to go to the clinic. Hey, hold on! Since when were you a full-time employee who worked at HQ? Hey, you should be home by now, right? What's the meaning of this? Explain it to me right now. It means that you're banned from coming to work. Yes, it was really tough for me after that, you know? Immediately after I finished texting you, I was called by the head of this branch office and told not to come to work anymore. All I did was try to teach you your place as a lowly, useless dispatch worker. Why are you now the head of a new department at HQ? It's only been 5 years. When did all this happen? Well, it happened 5 years ago. While I was working here as a dispatch worker for 3 months, I noticed that the work done on computers in this branch office is quite inefficient. So I did as much as I could as a dispatch worker to optimize the speed of work. The head of this branch office and even people from HQ noticed what I had done, and they were kind enough to give me a job at HQ as a full-time employee. But even still, how were you able to become a department head in only 5 years? As regards to that, I'm not the only one. 2 years ago, I was invited to be one of the founding members of the new department, and the head of this new department was an employee aged 34. Huh? The head was the same age as me? It might look like he was promoted to a high position at an extremely young age when you compare it to the rest of the company, but the average age of this new department was 28. Considering this, I think you'll find it more believable that I was eventually chosen to become the head at the age of 30. Seriously? Well, there's really no point in me talking about my job, so I'll stop talking about this topic. What I wanted to talk about is how you suddenly punched me, who came from HQ to see how things were going here during today's morning assembly. I didn't know. I heard that new dispatch workers will be joining the factory workforce today, and that's when I saw you, so I assumed that you were here as a dispatch worker again. But I heard that the new dispatch workers would be coming tomorrow. What? It seems you didn't know the company's schedule, but that's not the point. No matter who the other person is, and no matter what your positions are, punching someone in the face is most of the time frowned upon. I just had a little misunderstanding. Don't you think we need to take that into consideration? Even if I were a dispatch worker, punching me in the face would have been a serious offense. It's not as if you were protecting yourself as well. You obviously just suddenly punched me. That's the reason you're being punished. Come on, I'm begging you. I'm about to get married. You're getting married? I plan on proposing to her soon, and my girlfriend is waiting for me to propose to her as well. You got a girlfriend? You know her as well, right? It's Miss Knox, the part-time worker from the office. What? Ms. Knox? But I was suddenly told not to come to work, so... if I may. I want to find happiness with her. But Ms. Knox is the wife of the factory head's son. didn't you know? What? It seems that she goes by her maiden name, Knox, while at the company. You're lying. Her husband is an employee at HQ, so I know him. They have a child who's turning 10 this year, if I remember correctly. No way, that's impossible. But Miss Knox comes to meet me every morning. Miss Knox is in charge of handing out the things that came with delivery to each department, right? Of course she comes to the factory every day. During lunch break too, she brings me lunch boxes to make herself look good as a wife. But I heard that her husband was in charge of making their lunch boxes. It seems that there's one more thing that we need to investigate. Hold on. I'm going to report this to HQ. Don't do this, please. Sorry, but the cheek which you punched still stings, so... I have bigger problems. Goodbye. I'm impressed someone like him was able to become the manager, but it seems like he was fairly competent at his actual work, which is why he was promoted in the first place. That being said though, luckily I wasn't seriously injured when Mr. Cobb punched me in the face, but obviously I couldn't just let it go, so I filed a report on him. Ms. Knox, who he had apparently been stalking, filed a report on him as well. We have no intention of settling this outside of court with him. After the whole debacle, Mr. Cobb was now in possession of a criminal record and was fired from the company. He used all the money he had saved up to pay for the alimonies, which were massive. Me and Ms. Knox had asked from him, and he was forced to start over from scratch. No, it was even worse than starting over from scratch for him, as he was now in the possession of a criminal record. Unless he does something about how he treats other people, I doubt he'll be able to live a happy life in the future.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Abigail! What the heck do you think you're doing? Did you leave Ava on my front doorstep?
Ah, good. You found her so early in the morning. That's such a relief for me.
You could have done anything, but you thought it was best to ring my doorbell and run off early in the morning?
Well, it's not good to leave a 1-year-old child outside for a long period of time by themselves.
If you knew that, then you shouldn't have done that. And besides, what if I refused to let her into the house? Then what would you have done?
But if I had some errands to run, then I guess there's not much I could have done about it.
No matter how close you are to your neighbors, you can't just leave your child the way you did. It's barbaric.
But you're a full-time housewife now. So what's the problem, Katrina? You are free, right? So there should be no issues with looking after my daughter.
How many times do I have to say this to you? I had no choice but to quit my job, as my husband's company is making him transfer. My family would be moving somewhere else.
Yeah, that's why I objected to that. So you can take care of my daughter, you see. Now that my friend next door has become a full-time housewife, it's easier for me to leave my daughter with her. It wouldn't work at all if you and your husband had to move. That's why your husband should just move by himself and leave his family alone.
Don't you see what you're saying right now is so selfish, Abigail?
No, not really. Look, I'm meeting up with someone right now. We'll talk about this later.
Wait a minute, Abigail. You can't just bail on the conversation. You're causing so much trouble. You can't just do this to your own daughter. Abigail! How could you just leave Ava on my front doorstep once again? Now you're just being totally irresponsible when it comes to your child's well-being.
Oh, hey. Wow, you were a bit late in noticing her today, weren't you?
I just found out about 30 minutes ago. I went out to run some errands and I decided to go to my parents' house in the neighboring town. My husband, who was at home, heard what seemed to be the sound of crying around by our front door early this morning. He went out to have a look and was shocked to see that it was Ava bawling her eyes out, so he let her inside.
No, what? Your husband hasn't left you alone to go to his new job yet?
Abigail, I'm moving from this house in a week's time. That's it. You can't keep doing this. I heard that the temperature this morning was a lot cooler than usual for this time of year. How could you leave a 1-year-old outside in the freezing cold weather?
Right, okay. Just take care of my daughter, please and thank you.
You're being such an irresponsible mother! My house is not a child care center.
I don't care for all the finer details. I'm just asking for this one tiny little favor. Besides, you got a child to take care of anyway, Katrina. Having another kid to look after is hardly going to change anything.
You know that my child is an elementary school student, right? During the daytime like today, it's a school day.
So? It means that you have a lot more extra time on your hands to look after my daughter.
That's not how it works, Abigail.
No, great. I'll leave you to take care of her. I'll be back later tonight.
Are you even listening to me, Abigail? I'm not a child care center.
Hey, I promised a friend that I would hang out with them today.
Really? It's such an unavoidable task that you have to ditch your daughter again to hang out with a friend?
Yes, of course. Since you've become a full-time housewife, your help has been impeccable. On that note, enjoy your time with my kid, and I'll catch up with you later.
Abigail, if you're going to keep causing trouble, I'll just have to put my ideas into action. Let that be a warning to you.
Hello? I left Ava at your front door over an hour and a half ago, and I still haven't got any messages from you. Are you there, Katrina? Since I haven't heard from you, does that mean you're finally agreeing to take care of my daughter?
What are you on about, Abigail?
I mean, either way, I'll be back in 3 days' time, so thank you for taking care of her again.
Abigail, there's no way this is happening right now. Did you try to leave Ava at my house again?
I didn't try to leave her there. I did leave her at your house. It's been an hour and a half already, so obviously you've let her into your house, right? The fact that you didn't contact me is proof above everything else.
No, I don't remember accepting your daughter into my house without directly asking me. Didn't you hear me telling you that it was going to be -3 degrees this morning? It's a really cold morning, Abigail, and since you're a mother, it's on you if you didn't consider that in your so-called plans.
I had no choice but to do that. I can control the weather. I'm already on the plane right now, so just get my daughter from your front door and look after her for a while. Since you live next door, you're like family to me, so I can request anything from you without any hassles. It's such a lucky thing to have.
Are you serious? You know that I'm also on a plane, right?
Huh? No, I'm on a plane, silly. What are you talking about?
I've already told you about this, Abigail. I said this time last week that I was moving out of my house. Today is the moving out day.
Oh, right. So your husband has finally left you behind. Of course you'll be at home by yourself then.
No, I'm with my child as well.
Oh, yes, of course you're with your child. You're with my child as well.
That's not it at all, Abigail. I'm only with my child right now, not yours. It was the plan all along for my whole family to move away together.
I have to turn off my phone now. The plane is about to take off.
Abigail? Abigail, is your phone on again? If your husband isn't picking up any of his calls, I guess your phone might also be turned off. We're already working on getting some care for Ava since you abandoned her. By leaving her in my care, you've really put yourself between a rock and a hard place, Abigail. You better be prepared for what is going to come next. Well, I guess from now on, I won't be in touch with you. Once you get this message, you should contact your husband as soon as possible.
Oh, Katrina, I just landed. I'm just in the airport's arrival gate now. I might have to wait a while to get a car back, so it might take about an hour to get home maybe. If it starts to get a little late, I'll just stay at a nearby hotel for the night. So, could you please look after Ava for just one more night? That would be great.
Abigail, I may be wrong, but did you have your phone turned off for your entire trip?
Huh? What do you mean?
You need to go back through your chat history to understand what's been going on here. It seems like you've never got in touch with your husband after all.
Huh? Would have helped my husband. What? What do you even mean? Katrina, did you try to contact my husband or something?
I suppose you saw your chat history from 3 days ago then.
What the heck do you mean by your messages? By the time I moved in next door to you, my husband was already working away from home. It would have been nice if he returned every 6 months or so, though.
Yeah, you've told me all this before, Abigail. You said the reason why you wanted to move into that house is so that you could be in your husband's hometown.
Yeah, that's true, but how can you talk to my husband?
Well, my husband and I were childhood friends, and we were born and raised in that same area. As you know, we got married. Your husband was also from the same place as us and went to the same elementary and middle school together. In other words, we have known him way longer than you.
What? Well, this is just a small world, isn't it?
I exchanged contact information through my husband, and now there's no need to contact your husband directly about what you've done.
No, wait, what? Oh, this can't be happening.
Since you decided to leave your daughter again a week ago, I contacted your husband and explained the situation. He said his mother was at home, and that I could go to your mother-in-law for help.
My mother-in-law is involved now? No.
Your mother-in-law's house is literally only a 10-minute car ride away. In addition to that, the old lady who lives diagonally across from my house knows your mother-in-law, so she was able to help out as well.
What the heck is that extreme reaction to you taking care of my daughter?
3 days ago, when you left Ava at my front doorstep, the old lady immediately came over and took care of her once she saw her sitting there by herself. She raced back to her house and called your mother-in-law, and she came over and took care of Ava.
You can't do that. Where's my Ava now?
Based on the recent events, I assume your mother-in-law is taking much better care of her than you ever would. I didn't even want to touch on what I was hearing, but why didn't you just check on her yourself?
No way. It was your job to check on her and take care of her while I was away. This has made me extremely angry.
Even if you say things like that, it's not going to help. I don't know your mother-in-law's contact information.
Then why don't you check with my husband?
Why should I have to do it? I'm still unpacking from moving into my new house.
I'm only asking you to check on my daughter. What's the big deal?
She isn't my daughter. You're the one that needs to do it. I'm starting my new day job the day after tomorrow. It seems like it's a complete waste of time trying to talk to you about how important it is to look after your own child.
A complete waste of time?
Yes, you need to do everything on your own. It's your mess, so you clean it up.
How dare you say something like that to me? I'm absolutely disgusted right now.
You left Ava in the -3-degree weather in the early hours of the morning. You don't need to say how horrible I'm being when you don't even care about your own daughter. I see no point in continuing this conversation if you can't see what you've done is wrong. See ya, Abigail.
My husband filed a divorce from me.
Wait, Abigail? It's been a few weeks since we last talked.
And I lost custody rights to Ava. Even my own parents are super angry at me and have disowned me. Why is everyone so against me?
Oh, I got a call from your husband saying that he owes me an apology for what you did to me, and that he found out that you were having an affair, and that the last trip you went on with your secret lover was actually a love affair vacation. What's more is that you lied to your lover that you were in fact single and not dating anyone.
Well, if you just took care of Ava, like you were supposed to, none of this would have happened.
At that point, I was moving my family and we were boarding a plane to our new home. I told you many times that I was moving, but you didn't care about anyone else in the situation and did what you wanted to do. You can't blame me for your wrongdoings.
Your stupid husband should have been the only one who moved so that you could take care of my daughter. Stop lying! This is your fault!
It wasn't my selfish decisions and my infidelity that led to Ava needing childcare. It should have been your own responsibility. From the beginning to the end, there was no other conversation had, other than that I was moving away. I told you and you didn't listen.
But you can't do this to me.
I'm constantly repeating the same things over and over again. I'm done. I've had enough of you.
But wait a minute. Katrina, please?
There's no point. I'm done waiting. Enjoy your new single life, Abigail.
You can't just end it like that, Katrina!
I couldn't believe the reason that Ava needed childcare was for Abigail to have a love affair vacation. My first thought was that Ava is now safe, away from her mother. We made a decision to contact the husband when Ava was left at my doorstep for the second time. On the third time, we had the help from the mother-in-law and the old lady across the road. I felt so relieved that the plan worked out. Also, during the second and third times that she abandoned her daughter, there was already an investigation launched into her affair. She is now paying alimony for what she's done. The partner that she cheated with and who she had deceived also paid up. She can't rely on anyone as they have all disowned her. It seems like she spends her days working from morning to night while the energy in her soul runs out. I guess that's what you get for not looking after your own child.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.